So before we get there, Steph, let me ask you, how confident do you feel as a parent?
So this is the cool thing. God could have picked anyone on the planet to oversee your child's life. And he chose you. Hey everybody, welcome to the online parenting class. If you missed last month's video, the link is in the description below. This month we're going to hit on 3 practical components or tips on how to find confidence as being a parent.
So before we get there, Steph, let me ask you, how confident do you feel as a parent?
I guess I range between 5 and 7 based on how the day's going. So, like you know, I have 2 teenagers, so it all depends on how the day's going, really.
Yeah, so I would say for me as a new parent, I would probably on a scale of 1 to 10 range around a 4. And so I'm excited to jump into this lesson and just kind of see where it goes, because I think we all have had those questions: how is my child going to end up? Or am I the right person for this job as a parent?
Well, obviously, we don't have a manual to be parents, so every child is so different. So like Larkin and Sam and Sarah, our 3 kids are awesome, but they have different needs, obviously. So we need to flex to that as parents. I'm currently navigating all that myself with 2 teenagers. So of course I'm going to feel uncertain, or this feels really risky, but that's normal. But we believe it's possible to have confidence in the uncertainty of it all.
The parenting world kind of operates a little bit like the branches of the United States government. There's executive and legislative and judicial, and all 3 of them are supposed to work together for the better of the government and for the better of the people. And so parenting, there's also 3 components that together is supposed to work together to bring confidence as a parent.
Right. So the first component is our child's story. Our children have unique talents and gifts and personalities. So through that, we decide, how are we going to raise them? Well, we never know, right? So we just use our own experiences, and we see what they need and the things that we can develop in them, and just follow along with them and guide them as much as possible. But truly, only Jesus knows what their story is going to end up being, and we only help them along.
So our role is to understand that our children are in their formative years as they're under our care. And a lot like a new building being built in a big city, pedestrians will walk by and wonder, hey, how is this building going to turn out? What's it going to look like? The construction manager is there trying to make sure and fit the pieces together to raise the building up the way that the architect had envisioned it and designed it to be.
So we, as the parents, are the construction managers. And the architect is God, the creator. He gives us his plans and designs for our own children. So we don't always know what they're going to be, or what the outcome or the final product will be of their personality, gifts, and talents. But we need to just trust and be confident that he knows best. God is unfolding our child's story every day, and we must be careful and not to assume that we know the plans, and let the Lord lead those plans and unfold in front of us.
So, Steph, speaking of construction manager, VBS is right around the corner, and our theme is VBS, for VBS is construction. And so we would love for you guys to sign up your kids for VBS, kindergarten through 7th grade. The link is going to be in the description as well. And you can sign up as a volunteer as well, can't they, Steph?
Yeah, it would be great to have you volunteer and bring your kids to our VBS.
So the second component then that works together is that we have a role in our story as well, that God is still shaping and creating our story. And so he's not finished with you. And even before you had the role of a parent, you were you.
Right. God was the architect designing and shaping your story, your history, your personality, your past, your future, your culture, your upbringing. All of that comes from the Lord. He is designing you. Your story has a significant influence on your parenting journey, for sure.
For sure. So when we intentionally invest in understanding and owning our story, we offer our children a gift of grace. Being confident that regardless of where we've come from or where we've been, we own into our own story, including the moments of heroic times and the moments of heartbreaking times. Absolutely. And so God's not done with your story, and he's using each part of your upbringing and who you are now to play a role in your gifts and your talents, to play a role in your student's life or your kid's life.
Absolutely. So this is my favorite component, his story. The beautiful architect, the creator, the mastermind behind the whole parenting thing is from the Lord, who weaves his story into ours and into our children's. He says in Romans 8:28, "And we know that all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose."
So his story is one of love and pursuit after us. He brings our story together that he's still shaping. He brings our children's story together that he's just started. And he connects them all with his story and his greater purpose.
So this is the cool thing. God could have picked anyone on the planet to oversee your child's life. And he chose you. He doesn't make mistakes. However you came into this world, however you became a parent, or how your child was born into this world, it was intentional. It was not a mistake. It was meant to be on his part. Because this is his truth, you can be confident as a parent and as a person. He's bringing our stories together into his story.
So understanding these three components, that he is shaping our children's story, he's shaping our story still, and he has a greater story at play as Christ himself, brings us the confidence we need to believe that we're exactly where we're supposed to be. Right. And that we are the right person for the job in raising up families of God. So remember, be confident. Believe that God is unfolding your child's story, that he's still unfolding your story, and that he's working them all together with his story.
Right. So I hope this is a reminder that the great architect is molding and shaping our lives and our children's lives. Gives you confidence to know that you've got this, to be a father, a mother, a grandmother, or grandfather to your amazing kids or grandkids. You've got this. So just know that myself, Stephanie, and Matt are partnering with you. We face different challenges all the time. What is it that just fell on the floor? Was it your hat?
Oh man, we're gonna have 8 minutes of outtake too.
Let me get a sip of my coffee. We'll be right back.